Now, I'm a huge fan of the Sony Walkman series, having been a long-term user of the A828 model. So imagine how excited I was when I found out that Sony would be bringing out their thinnest Walkman yet. And that's this, the A845 model. Now, based on design alone, it's clear that Sony had the iPod Nano firmly in its sights. And it's not as stunning as the Nano, but it's a very good attempt from Sony. If you flung in a camera, it would look and feel pretty similar. Now, it's 7.2 millimeters thick and it weighs just 62 grams, so it's really not going to make a dent in your bag, and you'll certainly be able to slot it into even the skinniest of jeans. Now, throw in the real eye candy, which is this gorgeous 2.8-inch AMOLED screen as seen on the X series for bright, vivid and very punchy colours, and you've got a formula for a very good MP3 player, not to mention one with a much better screen than the Nano. It's noticeably bright and sharp, and because the Walkman's interface is generally quite dark, the screen really shows off what it can do when viewing pictures or watching a video. It all just looks absolutely stunning, pretty impressive stuff. And with its wide-angle viewing, thanks to the AMOLED tech, someone looking over your shoulder will be able to easily see too. We just hope it's a friend and not a stranger. And if you find the screen isn't big enough to take in something lengthy, you can always hook it up to your TV via the optional AV out cable. Of course, this will be in standard definition, but it's a great option to have nonetheless. Okay, so like the X series, it comes packing noise cancelling technology, but also faces the same headphones dilemma, which means you're going to have to use the ones that come in the box in order to make use of this feature. Now, they're not the best looking set of headphones, but unlike those ubiquitous white Apple headphones, they fit comfortably in the ear, they chuck out great sound, producing a great amount of detail. And with 3 noise cancelling options to take advantage of, that's office, plane, train and bus, you get to cut out the right amount of noise based on the environment you're in, a feature that Nano owners can only dream of. And you'll be pleased to know that it doesn't drastically deplete the battery life either, which is always a good thing. But it's the inclusion of BBC Iplayer Compatibility that really makes it all the more appealing, and you can easily sideload shows in Iplayer and optimise clips for your Walkman. Now, it's fine using a PC, gets a bit more problematic when we move into Mac territory, like the X, E and S series before it. Transferring shows from the Iplayer onto your Walkman just isn't going to happen. Other content is fine, but Iplayer content is a no-no. It is, however, compatible in other areas. So, for example, employing the usual drag and drop method in iTunes is fine. So not only is this Walkman compact, but it is absolutely stunning with a solid feeling design that's complemented by this lovely silver embellishment around the keys at the bottom, which are just about the right size to navigate your way around nicely. The user interface just wiped the floor with the Nano, looking almost identical to the X series. Scrolling is speedy and achieved using the playback keys at the bottom. Now, some would argue they are somewhat confusing, but scrolling left or right flicks through artists alphabetically, and up and down takes you through your assortment of songs, bands or albums. Similarly, you can flick through album covers while listening to tunes by pressing downwards to bring up new artwork. Accidental nudges can lead to easy confusion though, and occasional lapses into music you don't want to listen to. But it does become second nature after a while, and I found it very easy to use. It also supports a wide variety of file types that can be easily imported over to your Walkman, not to mention quickly. Now, you'll get around 29 hours of audio playback and around 9 hours of video, and it's only available in a 16 gig flavour. So if you don't want to fork out cash for the extra cans, the A845 is definitely worth considering. Yes, it's not as stunning as the Nano, blah blah, but generally it's a much better all-rounder, not to mention it's got brilliant sound quality to boot. And its size becomes all the more impressive when you consider how much high tech is packed into its little skinny frame.